I'm feeling suicidal and I think I'm going to hurt myself. What would you say if one of your team members told you that? With 1 in 11 professionals now experiencing thoughts of self-harm or suicide, it's definitely something that you want to be prepared for. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in this episode, showing you what to do, what to say in a crisis situation. As you can imagine, somebody who is suicidal is at the lowest point they could ever be in. The amount of pain, the overwhelm, the suffering, the confusion, and all the other thoughts and feelings that go with that to think that suicide was their only option. I'm sure you will agree that's a very, very dark place to be in. Now the fact is, most people who are suicidal, they don't actually want to die. They just can't see a way that they can live right now. And as a manager, a supportive conversation can make a massive difference, as you can intervene early, you can get them to get the support that's needed, you can show that people care for them, and it shows that you're there to be a supportive manager. Now before you get into supporting and how to support, I want to make this very, very clear because it's so important. The only person responsible for a completed suicide is the individual, although there'll be many factors which can contribute, which I'll link up now. So if the person completes suicide on the same day, a day later, a week later, or a month later, that is not on you. You can only do your best at the time with what you're given. And as long as you are non-judgmental, you're listening, you're empathetic, that is all you can do. So it's not on you. So with that being said, here are 8 steps to support someone in crisis. Assess the risk throughout the conversation, and if you believe they are at immediate risk, always phone 999 or take them straight to A&E. Stay calm and relaxed throughout the conversation. So this is staying relaxed in our body language, staying relaxed in our tone of voice, making sure that we're not rushing anything, and making sure that we're just taking our time to focus on the individual. And by staying calm and relaxed, it can lead to the person building trust with us, it can help the person feel safe, and it can help them feel supported. So always make sure that we're staying calm and relaxed throughout the conversation. Always provide reassurance. So when somebody is at a crisis point, they will be at a level 10 on the stress scale. By providing reassurance, we can take them down a few notches. So we want to provide reassurance that they've done the right thing by coming to us, reassure them that we're going to support them as best as we can, and the workplace is going to support them as best as we can, and any other ways to provide reassurance. And it's also important to note that due to the serious nature, because it is suicide, that you'll have to disclose the information told with other relevant management, occupational health, and other relevant agencies so they can get the best support possible. So always provide reassurance. Make sure to fully listen throughout the conversation. So giving the person plenty of time to talk without any interruption, allowing that moments of silence, and listening to exactly what they're saying, what they need, and what they're prepared to do for themselves. Now with this, they may tell you stuff that is shocking, startling, maybe traumatic events, and it's important for us to remain unfazed, unbiased, so we can remain that positive supportive force that they can trust and tell us more. So always make sure to listen. Ask supportive questions to give you more information, help guide the conversation, and provide the best support possible. Now there are many supportive questions that you can ask, and for crisis I have my top 5. Number 1, have you experienced thoughts and feelings like this before? And if they tell you that they have, you can ask them what helped them in the past. Number 2, what do you feel that you should do right now to keep yourself safe? And they may say, I need to see a certain person, do a certain activity, go to a certain place, and anything else that has a positive impact for them. Equally with number 3, you can ask, what do you feel that you should avoid right now to keep yourself safe? And they may say, I need to avoid certain people, avoid certain locations, avoid certain activities like drinking or going on social media, and anything else that has a negative impact for them. Number 4, do you have a trusted person that you can contact who could support you? And they may say a friend, family, colleague, or other person. Now the reason we say trusted person is because the friend, family, or colleague could be the ones actually creating the issues for the individual, and saying trusted person helps to avoid triggering them further. Number 5, how are you looking after yourself right now? And we're checking for basic necessities. Do they have food? Do they have shelter? Do they have clothes? When was the last time they saw someone? Are they actually sleeping right now? Are they investing in themselves in any way? And gives us a lot of information. So those are my top 5 there. And the questions that you do ask, they can be relevant to get as much information to guide the conversation. And sometimes it doesn't even need to be about their mental health with the questions we're asking. Because we mentioned that they're at a high level, it's 10 on the stress scale. And any form of distraction will also help, and just talking to them in general. So if we're saying, what is your favourite sports team? What was your favourite comedy that you watched? What do you like to do out of work? Or any hobbies that you've had past or present? And just having a normal conversation with them can help distract them and actually take them down a few notches as well. And how you guide that conversation is completely up to you. As long as we're getting the relevant information and doing enough to distract them, to take them down as best as we can, it's all recommended. So ask supportive questions, keep the conversation going, and doing your best that you can with that conversation. Encourage professional support. So most of you watching right now will not be a GP, a counsellor, psychologist, or any other mental health professional. And this is why it's important to know where your scope of practice is and where it ends. And where it ends is where you should be signposting to professional organisations. And the organisations that you signpost to could be a GP, could be Samaritans, could be Breathing Space, and anything relevant to what they've been saying in the conversation. Now, before we recommend anything, it's always important to ask for permission. So we can say something like, with how you've been feeling, I'd highly recommend looking at some professional options. Is this something you'd be willing to explore? And if they say yes, we don't just tell them go Google it, because they won't Google it in a high stress state. Instead, we talk through some of the options and we give them the name, the number, the website, and any other relevant contact details so they can easily make contact and access them if they want, or we could do it with them. So always encourage professional support in the conversation. If they're in a position to do so, we can encourage self-help. Again, we always ask for permission, so we can say something like, with how you've been feeling, there are many self-help options we could look at. Is this something you'd be prepared to talk about? And if they say yes, then we can think back to the conversation. What have they been saying? What do they need? What would they be prepared to do? And we just talk through it. So for example, if they said they haven't seen friends in months, we could ask them to do something very simple. Could you give one of your friends a text? And we're being very suggestive rather than prescriptive. And again, that's a quick win. It's simple to do for them. Another example, it could be maybe they haven't left the house apart from work in months. So we could say, could you go to your front door more often just to get some fresh air? Could you walk to the end of the street? Anything that's going to be a quick win that's going to stack and encourage other healthier activities. Same thing if they haven't been eating well. We could say, could you drink another glass of water? Or maybe eat one piece of fruit. Another quick win. When somebody is at the lowest of lows, a quick win will help to build that ladder up and up and up, give them some hope that they can achieve again. So finding quick wins with self-help that are going to be relevant and achievable for the individual. So encourage self-help. At the end of the conversation, ask if you can check in with them, whether that's checking in via text, a call, another meeting, or any other way. This will show that person that you genuinely care about them, you want to see them get better, that you're there for them, and that you're going to be the best supportive manager that you can be. So always ask to check in. Now, a crisis situation will take its toll on you, so make sure that you take the time out to prioritize yourself, making sure you're connecting, exercising, eating well, investing in your sleep, and investing in your own self-care. Because if you're not right, then you can't help others in the best way possible. And if you need to speak to someone, speak to a friend, family, colleague, other management, or professional organizations yourself. So make sure that you prioritize yourself. With the conversation, there is no time limit. So take as long as you need to make sure the person feels safe, supported, and if they are immediate risk, remember to always phone 999 or take them straight to A&E, staying with them as long as needed until other help arrives. So those are my 8 steps to have a supportive conversation around suicide. I do hope it's been useful, and if it has, please like, comment and share, as it helps more managers to know what to do and say to support their team members. And if you're looking for mental health training, please contact me at matt@claritywalk.co.uk, or you can visit our website www.claritywalk.co.uk/training. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.